Hello, folks. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about how it's important to actually be, to be aware and to be careful and to be aware of what you think, what you see, what you spend your time on thinking. In general, what you spend your time on, let's say doing something, some action or whatever. Say, for example, what you spend your time on while reading, what you read, what you write, what you see, right? Like visually, say images, videos, pictures, and all, right? So, what you feel, what you experience, right? You have to be aware, you have to be aware, be careful, be aware. I think be aware, be careful is all similar, same. But anyway, so be aware, be aware, right? And basically just be very, very careful and aware of what you are actually consuming or taking in, or even what you're thinking, or what you're taking in, that is consuming in any form, say listening, seeing, like reading, um, or say seeing a movie, or seeing a picture image, right? And then seeing people and whatnot in real life, and what you're experiencing, the emotions and whatnot, like intentionally, like you're trying to experience something intentionally. Let's say you eat something spicy just to feel that spice, right? So try to realize, be aware, beware, be careful, very, very careful about what you are trying to consume, take in. So whatever you're taking in, it's important to be aware of it and be aware of it. And whatever you're creating, whatever you're putting out there, right? You're producing, creating. For example, you're writing something, creating some content, say writing something, or some article, some blog post or whatever, or creating a video for YouTube, TikTok, whatever, Instagram, Reel, something, right? Or creating a song, like audio file, right? Anything, or you're talking something, or you're thinking something, that's kind of like creating only, right? So all of these, or you're doing some action, let's say running or whatever, right? Whatever you create or put out there or do out there, be aware and um, be very careful, be very aware, and be aware of what you put out there also. So let me talk in a more specific manner so that it makes sense, because this was all generic. To be aware and to be aware and to be careful about what you consume or take in, and what you put out there, or what you produce or create, right? So a specific example is, for example, I'm wearing this t-shirt which says athlete. I'm not sure if it will show up in the video in a mirror format or what, but this one says athlete. Okay, so can I see this very clearly? I can't very clearly. Okay, my phone brightness is very less. Anyway, so it says athlete. So I got this t-shirt long ago. The interesting part about this t-shirt is, whenever I wear this t-shirt, but if I'm not actually going to the gym, or if I'm not being active, and if I'm being very lazy and unhealthy, like not being active, like not moving much, then I feel guilty about wearing this t-shirt, right? So the best part about this t-shirt is, whenever I wear it, I feel like, okay, I'm an athlete, or I'm like not like a professional athlete, but I'm like someone who moves, who goes to the gym and whatnot, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm someone who goes to the gym, and it makes sense. I actually can relate to it, and I can. It's not false. It's not fake. I actually do something and whatnot. But whenever I actually skip gym, or just stop gym for some reason, or pause gym basically, right? And then I don't feel like putting this t-shirt, because I'm like, well, I feel like a fake, right? So that's a good thing about this t-shirt, right? So this is something that I bought, I took in, right? I paid money. That is something that I put in effort, and I got my salary, my income, and then I paid it, and I got this. I'm taking it in, I'm using it, right? So what I read, my dad is one of my motivations and inspirations, right? Usually, though, motivation is more external and inspiration is kind of internal, but people do inspire you, right? So my dad puts up so many positive quotes, thoughts, ideas out there on WhatsApp, through messages or WhatsApp statuses. I read them, right? And I read a lot of such content. It actually helps me think in a very positive manner. And that's not the only motivation or inspiration. That's like the consuming part. I also create stuff. Like for example, I go write down such stuff, motivational stuff. I also act. For example, I go for the gym. I go to gym. I go for a run and whatnot. I move. I walk. I ensure that I actually do something to actually feel healthy and feel like, okay, this makes sense, right? But let's say these are some good stuff, right? Healthy stuff. Let's say I consume something wrong. For example, I don't know, like I go and see too much chocolates and whatnot. Two things about this, right? One is a good thing, one is a bad thing. One good thing is if I see chocolates, see desserts and whatnot, but don't buy them, the good thing is I can actually expose myself to an environment which actually shows a lot of addictive stuff, and understand that okay, I'm not affected much by it, and I don't have any cravings or need or want to actually go and eat it, right? The con is it is possible that you might end up eating it because you just saw it, and depending on how your brain works, depending on your past experiences and your wants, your needs, and your emotions, your mood and whatnot, you might end up eating it because you saw it, right? So you try to maintain a balance where you expose yourself just to ensure to check if you are actually not affected by it, but most times don't expose yourself. For example, if you go to a shop, if you go grocery shopping, don't go to the aisle that has sugary items, right? So don't consume that information, don't see it. If you want, you can of course read good stuff, like read stuff which says that sugar is bad, right? That is a good thing. Don't read stuff like much like how to make some dessert, right? Or even if it's natural sugar, I don't recommend taking in too much natural sugar. It's not necessary or needed for the body. Ideally, you can go check it out. But of course, natural sugars do come along with other good stuff. For example, natural sugar from fruits come along with vitamins and minerals and all. So you need the vitamins and minerals from the fruits, but you don't need the natural sugar. But I don't think you can separate it out. But so it's fine. But don't take in too much of it. You don't really need too much vitamins, minerals. Those are actually micronutrients. It's called micro for a reason. You just need micro, little bit of it, and not macronutrients, which means you need too much of it, like carbohydrates, proteins, fat, and all that. So yeah, I mean, basically understand what you're consuming, what you're reading, what you're writing, what you're putting out there, like writing, creating, and all that. So be very careful, be very aware, and beware of what you consume, take in, and what you put out there and create and produce. So if you take in and create good stuff, it's going to be good for you, healthy for you. If you take in bad stuff and create bad stuff, like, and be unhealthy, for example, eat unhealthy food, don't move, don't go for a run, or don't go for gym or whatever, like don't do anything healthy, don't work out, exercise or whatever, then even inaction is actually kind of some form of action to say that you're being unhealthy. Like you're doing nothing and you're doing stuff to become unhealthy by, say, instead of exercising, you're doing something else probably, right? That's all. Something else is taking up your time. Say you're oversleeping, you're just being lazy and binge watching TV series and Netflix. So you're doing something else, and that's causing you to not do something good, and it's just leading to more unhealthy stuff. So be very careful about what you create, what you put out there, what you produce, and also what you consume, what you take in, right? So yeah, that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.